Welcome to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Let's Talk Cars Radio is sponsored in part by Napa Car Care Centers, the BDG Auto Group, and by Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmissions. Be a part of the program today by calling 757-222-3705. That's 757-222-3705. Email your questions and comments to Dave at letstalkcarsradio.com. Now, here is the host of Let's Talk Cars Radio, Dave Palach.
Happy Saturday, America. You're some Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach, hanging out with Rockin' Larry Cobb. And, of course, Cameron, as usual, is doing all our technical work for us, earning his paycheck as he walks around holding a chair. He's a chair man today.
Better than holding the bag.
There you go. Yeah. He is messing with chairs. He's walking around the studio with chairs, and more chairs.
Really squeaky chair.
It was a squeaky chair.
I had to change it.
He was changing the squeaky chair.
Squeak Eliminator.
The squeak eliminator. So, it's been one of those weeks. What have y'all been up to?
It's I'm trying to fight allergies and looking forward to the holiday weekend just for the time off.
Everybody needs a little time off. I bet everybody I've talked to, like, oh man, I'm so looking forward to Monday. I'm so looking forward to having that Monday off.
Yes, indeed. I'm one of them.
And then other people are like, I don't have Monday off. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I forgot I had Monday off, so it's okay.
I've done my time as far as the holidays. I've worked every one of them.
So I'm going to jump right into it this week with you guys. You all know that it takes a little bit to get me stirred up, but when I'm stirred up, right?
Indeed,
that's a fair statement. Let's talk about city vehicles. And I'm not going to pinpoint any city. Well, I probably am because to tell the story, I think I probably have to. But I'm not going to call them out individually. I'm just going to say, city vehicles. Does that cover it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Municipal cars.
Okay. Municipal cars. So I have two different stories for you. First is going to be a situation that happened a couple weeks ago, and I steered away from it for a little bit because I ended up being involved. Not directly, but indirectly, I ended up being involved. So I got involved because somebody that I knew was involved in the situation, and then we put it out there. You guys know. So I've told you guys before that I get involved a lot in different blogs and forums, and we talk about all these different things that go on in all over the United States and actually all over the world, because if you guys forgot and you don't know, you can listen to us anywhere in the world. All you got to do is just log on. You guys can catch us on Facebook. You guys can actually go onto our website. You can go on WKQA Freedom 1110's website and listen anywhere you want. If you got a smartphone, you can listen to us anywhere in the world as well. So there's no excuses. I'll find you. Or you can find me. So, anywho, so I got in a bunch of conversations on this first story. So I'll give you the scenario, and feel free to text in and tell me what you guys think, or call in, or however you guys want. Everybody has their way. They send me emails, they send me texts, they call in, and you guys tell me what you think after I kind of give you the scenario of how this plays out. So, city garbage truck, okay, is picking up the trash cans. Now, you all know we have a lot of narrow streets here in the Hampton Roads area, and I'm sure wherever you guys are, you guys deal with this too if you have narrow streets. When I mean narrow streets, some of the streets in our area here only have enough room for basically a car and a half. So if you have a city dump truck or garbage truck, however you want to call it, everybody has their name for it, going down the street, you have about maybe, I would say, barely a car width is fair enough to go around. You would say that's about fair enough?
Really narrow.
Okay. So the garbage truck is picking up the garbage, and he's picking them up, and he's making his way going down the street. So every time he picks up a can, he's got to swing out and come to the next set of cans, okay? So he is picking up the garbage cans. He goes to make his swing out and does not realize that somebody that we are acquainted with has now come down the side of him because he was picking up the cans. So he looked, saw it was clear, and went to come down the side and go around him. Well, as he was going around him, he decides to swing his city truck out, and he's down the side of him.
He didn't look in the mirror.
That's what I say. So for the gentleman who was driving the car, to keep from hitting the city truck, tried to pull over on the wheel, but there's no place to go. Okay? The only place to go was in somebody's front yard. As he goes into their front yard, looks like there's little bushes there. They weren't little bushes. They were covering up a very large stump, which then he went up on with his car, put his car up on the side and into these people's front yard.
Tore the bottom out.
Oh, yeah. The car's destroyed. The car's completely totaled. So I get the telephone call and to go assist. I'm the closest to that situation. So the reason why, and I don't like to keep things from you guys, so don't think that I was keeping the story for you guys. I was waiting to see how this played out, and that's the reason why I didn't talk about it when it first happened. So I always tell you guys I'm very transparent, and I mean that I'm very transparent on the show. I like to talk about everything that happens in my personal life, everything that has to do with cars and stuff. But I held the story back for just a little bit because I was trying to see how this ended first before we talked about it. So,
Wise move.
it was because I want to make sure I had all my facts before everything went. I want to see how it was. So the garbage truck just keeps going. Leaves him there. Now, this is a young man. Not young, but a young man. Leaves this young man with his car destroyed in his front yard and just continues to go pick up trash like it's nothing. That's my problem number one. Okay? Nobody's around. Just the truck and the car that was involved. And the garbage truck just went upon his business like it was nothing. So
This is one of those automated trucks, correct?
well, there's a driver in the truck driving.
There's a driver, but that's it.
Right. That's
So it's the one with the big arm that picks it.
Correct.
So there's no other people around.
Correct.
And I wonder if he was in a closed cab. Could he even hear?
No, he was aware of what happened. He was aware of what happened.
Okay.
And he just went about his business. Now, the young gentleman just totaled his car out. The car is sitting on its side in the front yard. Okay? And we're not talking high rates of speed. It's just where the stump was covered up by the bushes. When the car hit the stump was just high enough to flip the car up on its side, okay, and shove the floorboard, the passenger side floorboard, up into the bottom of the car. Cameron, I know you got pictures. We actually got some pictures of it. So if Cameron give him a second, because that's his job here, he'll post some pictures up on our Facebook site. So if you guys want to go check and see what I'm talking about, Cameron will get it up on our Facebook site so you can actually see the pictures. It doesn't look as bad as it is, but it destroyed the car. You couldn't save the car. It completely crushed the whole floor into the bottom of the car where the stump was at and stuff. So anyway, he just goes on about his business. I mean, I don't know how that was even okay.
Did the other fellow call the police?
So police come. So I end up on scene just as the police are showing up, and they start giving me a hard time.
Hey, I'm innocent.
Right. They're like, well, who's driving the car? I said, I'm not real sure who was behind the wheel. I just got here myself. They're like, well, how many people are in the car? Once again, I'm not sure. I just got here myself. And they're like, well, how are you involved? I'm like, well, I'm not. I just got here myself. I almost felt like just reaching in my vehicle, throwing handcuffs on myself, and just standing there. You know what I mean? It was like that was kind of like the questionnaires I was going through. So I had to back up and calm myself down a little bit because I realized I was getting ready to have a really strong attitude because just the way I was approached, and I could feel it in me. Like I was there to help, but I was being questioned like I was a criminal. So I was trying to keep my composure because I was just a little irritated by the way that I was approached. You know what I mean? I was like, here I am trying to help. So I'm not going to get into that portion of it because we've talked about that situation to death before, so I'm not going to get into how that went. But let me just tell you, I understand some of y'all's pain for some of the messages and letters you guys have sent me with the interaction. So I understand your pain. I'm just going to leave it at that. So anyway, they cite this young man, okay, with reckless driving. That's the reason why I didn't get into this story with him, because I want to see how this all played out. So I don't believe it's reckless driving. The truck turned into him as he was trying to make the pass. I mean, I would say he's within it. This isn't a lined road or anything. This is just a neighborhood road. As I read, so I went through and did a little bit. I told you I like to be the advocate for people sometimes. So I went through and read all the different guidelines and stuff and the rules of the road and stuff. He was within his rights to make that pass. That vehicle at that point in time is considered parked to the side of the road. That city vehicle, as he's doing his job, he's parked to the side of the road. So it would have been up to him to make sure as he entered back into traffic to make sure he was clear, which he did not.
That's true. It would have been nice to have a witness to that.
There was none. But here's where my problem comes. If you guys are wondering what my question is on this and why I'm kind of posting this out to you guys, is you have the city making the decision if the city was guilty. city police car that comes out, city employees making the decision that the city truck was guilty.
Well, how do you deal with that then?
Isn't that like the fox watching the hen house, asking the fox, did you do anything wrong?
Oh, I get it. You've got bias.
Major bias.
Yeah, absolutely. And you would expect that kind of bias from that situation.
There's no way they're citing that city truck with a violation. No way in the world was that city truck ever getting a violation. How about leaving the scene of an accident?
Well, that's clearly illegal.
Right, but there was no ticket written for that.
I don't know what to say to that.
Regardless of who was at fault, you left the scene of an accident.
I was in an accident with a state trooper many years ago, and I got in the accident because he was chasing somebody else the opposite direction. It was on my side of the road, a little country road out in Ottawa County.
Okay.
And I jerked the car to get out of his way. And when I did, I lost control of it, went over into a ditch. And while I didn't get a ticket, the officer, nope. You know, it was pretty much, hey, my insurance paid for my car, and of course there was no damage to the state trooper. But the bottom line was, it wasn't his fault, so it had to be my fault. But he didn't. I mean, he was decent enough not to write me a ticket for it because he knew, but he wouldn't say it.
Right.
And I figure, hey, I mean, this was many years ago. That's when I started learning. Well, you're going to have to. There's some things you can't fight. I mean, 'cause how do you fight it?
Right.
And prevail?
There isn't, because how you can prevail against the system.
Yeah. It's like this individual here. Sorry about that.
That's
shame on me.
Like I say, Texas. I would agree. I'd go through. Oh yeah, I did. Hold on.
But I guess, I mean, in a situation like that, what recourse do you have? Where can you go with?
Well, one of the texts I said, it says you're never going to win this one. They win always, and that is Bill said that one. A guy named Jeremy typed and said, "Give it up. Just buy another car and move on."
Well, they're probably right.
Well, so here's the thing. There is no recourse. There is no recourse on that. So that's my one story. I have story number 2. I told you I have 2 stories. Okay? Go ahead, Cam.
Sounds guilty to proven innocent.
No, right. Yes. Yeah, you're right. No. You're right. You're guilty until proven innocent on that one.
Yeah. In many cases like that.
And you wonder why all these other countries have dash cams. Like we don't have them like they have them. They have dash cams in every car.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Man, aren't they not only were they requiring dash cams, I thought, but aren't they required, you have to wear it on your person?
No, that's for the police officers. I'm talking like cars in other countries. Every car in other country has a dash cam now.
Well, I've been thinking about it.
All right, so we're getting close to our first commercial break already. I tell you what, here's what we're going to do. I got a second story for you all. I'm going to go a quick commercial break. When we come back, I will tell you my second story, and it's right in line with what we just talked about. I'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Something really cool happened in 1975. And no, it wasn't the beginning of the disco era. Congress passed the Magnuson-Moss Act, so you don't have to take your vehicle back to your dealer to keep your vehicle manufacturer's warranty in effect. Our Napa Auto Care Center uses the proper replacement parts and procedures to keep that warranty valid. Visit our independently owned Napa Auto Care Center today.
Hey guys, you asked for it and I delivered. Check out our all-star team of automotive specialists at NapaBDGHRVA.com. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating, and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow and Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949, residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow and Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated. Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach. We're hanging out with Rockin' Larry Cobb, and of course, Cameron is doing all the technical work as he spins around his not squeaking chair, trying to push buttons and make mics work. And
Technical difficulties.
if you guys see all the stuff that happens behind the scenes here, sometimes I don't know if it makes me laugh or it makes me cry or if it makes me nervous.
Seems to be growing.
Well, it does because here,
More stuff.
Yeah, more stuff. As we go on, we have more computers, we have more wires, we have more everything. Hey, so I got so many stories this week. I don't even know where to start. So let me get back to where we left off at the commercial break. So story number 2, okay, dealing with the city. So you know my love and hate situation with buses, right? We've had this conversation.
Yes.
So I have love and hate with buses. I love bus drivers. I love the ones in my area. I have some great bus drivers we have, and then I have ones that just make me scratch my head because I don't know what they're thinking.
So do you love the city buses or is it the long haul buses?
No, these are school buses.
School buses.
My love and hate with school
Okay.
buses. You remember?
Whole different animal altogether.
It is. So, I come home Thursday, right? That was Thursday.
Thursday.
So I come home Thursday to a school bus that has decided to park on the tip of my driveway. The tip. Right on the tip of the concrete.
Does that mean you can't get in?
Or out.
Ah.
I cannot get in or out. Now, everybody knows my beloved Chevy is kind of a long truck. So for me to get in and out of my driveway, I would have to either drag the right side of my truck down the bus to get out, or clip the front of the truck, turning it the other way to try to get it out. There's just no way to get. The only way for me to get the truck out was to drive across my lawn to get my truck out. And everybody knows how I feel about my lawn because I spend a lot of money in my lawn.
And if you were to call the city and say, I need somebody to come move a school bus so I can get out of my driveway.
Oh, well, no, here's the response you get when you call the city. Well, technically, sir, it is a city bus, and as a city bus, it has the right to park wherever it wants on city streets.
You're kidding me.
Oh, no, sir. Oh, no, sir, which just infuriates me even more.
I would have been livid.
Right.
What are you paying taxes for?
Right.
Oh, man.
Now, if this was my younger years, you guys have heard me tell stories about my younger years. My reaction probably would have been a whole lot. They would have never found that bus.
Chains would have been included.
Chains would have been included. But since I've gotten older and a little wiser in my years, I learned how to control my temper a lot better. So, since I was inconvenienced, and I got my truck out and I went about my errands. My problem with it is I came back from my errands and said bus was still parked there. So now not only could I not get out of my driveway, I couldn't get back in my driveway. And I'm sorry, city bus driver, I refuse to drive across my grass twice because I pay a lot of money for my grass to look nice and green. So I parked in front of my house in front of bus. And sure, I happened to back my truck up real close to that bus because I wanted to be inconvenienced as I was when it decided to leave. So it had to do like a 9-point back and forth turn to get out. Do you know that those bus driver and bus driver assistants decided to stand on my front lawn and flip me the bird at my house because they had to go back and forth 8 or 9 times to get their bus out?
I thought you were going to tell me they actually backed into it.
No,
and slammed into it.
Oh. Can you imagine what would have happened if they did? Imagine my temper level would have been.
I just got to believe if I were in a situation like that, I'd be on the phone to my local friendly attorney to say, what can we do about this?
There was 2.5 car parking spots when this altercation all started that they could have parked further down. There's other places that bus could have parked other than on the tip of my driveway. For whatever reason, they decided to park all the way down in my neighborhood. On the tip of my driveway makes no sense. So they could have lunch because they walked down and around the corner to go eat at Hardee's.
And that's why they were there.
That's why they were there. Yep. Because I looked around, couldn't find anybody all over to figure out who was driving the bus. So as I was getting ready to continue on with some other errands, I see two ladies walking down the center of the street, and I went, these must be my bus drivers. And sure enough, they're walking down with Hardee's cups in their hands.
How many school buses were there?
There was 2 parked there at the time. One there and one like 2 blocks down parked, and they were eating at Hardee's, I guess, too.
Okay.
So, but there was no reason. There was plenty of parking other than to park. I mean, when I mean on the tip of my driveway, the bumper was probably 1.5 inches off my concrete.
It was enough to prevent you from getting in and out.
Correct. So, yeah. You know what? You could have just moved your bus back and forth 8 or 9 times and realized I made a bad decision. And the gentleman was very upset and decided to go ahead and show me how upset he was. But to stand on my front lawn and flip me the bird probably was maybe just a little bit overboard.
Well, in the words of Lurch.
No, I did a good job. I held my temper. I did a very good job. So I was very, very upset because I just think that's, bad behavior is bad behavior. And maybe I didn't reward it by parking my truck close, but I want to, you know what? I probably aggravated the situation more, but what else was I to do? After the response I got when I called the transportation office, then I was even more irritated.
Made you feel a little better. Probably that's why you do it.
No, it did, because that was the only way I knew how to express my displeasure with the situation.
Well, you got somebody's attention.
No, I did.
I laughed even more when somebody parked behind it.
So, yeah. Anyway, so those are my city situations. Yeah.
Whew, man. I don't know if I want to be you or not.
I have the strangest things happen. They just fine. I need to move out in the middle of nowhere. I'm just telling you. That's what I need to do. So, anyway, moving on.
I've always been a fan of that, but my wife won't let me. She likes urban living.
Urban living?
Yeah, I could live out where there were no neighbors. It'd suit me just fine.
But then you would have nobody to have quarrels with, I guess.
Well, who wants to have quarrels?
What was that movie where the 2 old men that just the grumpy old men? Is that what it was? They hate each other, but they loved each other, but they hate each other. Sometimes you got to have a little bit of that, I think. Hey, I got a funny for you. Do you remember me telling you about flashback? You remember me telling you about the Challenger and the Viper, and how they're going away, and we were talking about and these people were running out and buying them, and they're going to put them in garages, and this was going to be their retirements.
Yeah, I remember that.
Not so fast. Oh. So there's a report that the Viper's possibly going to come back in 2021. So if you rushed out to buy one and you thought you were going to retire off it by putting it in the barn and hanging on to it for a while, it might not have been a good investment.
It's no longer unique.
It's no longer going to be as unique as you thought it was. It's still unique. It's just not as unique as you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, well, if they come back, you were thinking they're never.
Well, they said they said they were going away, and these people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna rush out and go grab one, and I'm gonna put it in the barn and put a cover on it, and that'll be my retirement."
Don't trust anybody.
Well, yeah, because especially if you overpaid for it. What was that guy? That one that has he bought the Hellcat, and he's got it. What he's trying to sell it for like $550,000 for that Hellcat he had listed.
Yeah, and what did he pay for it?
Like 90.
Yeah, well, that's profiteering.
Yeah, I don't know. This kind of news right here would really ruin your Memorial Day weekend.
Put a dent in that fender.
Yeah, right. You definitely would. So, I don't know. I got another cool one for you. So I did try to call and reach out to them. I wanted to talk to these people because I've seen little ideas and I've seen little of this stuff pop up, but this is pretty cool. If you're as frustrated as I am when people park on the tip of your driveway, I have another way to fix your frustration. How about tank crushing theme park?
A tank crushing theme park? You mean like where you go to this place and you pay and you drive a a tank all over like other cars and
through houses. Not just cars, but you get to drive through houses.
Where do I sign up?
Yeah, right.
the problem with that is how are you going to keep new stuff in there to run over and destroy?
Well, it doesn't. I mean,
after
there's people trying to get rid of houses all the time. You ever see like they haul this old house away because we're building a new one? So you just drag stuff out there.
I was thinking of maybe a fixed location, like something like in a theme park concept. But I guess if you're going to move it all over the place,
I guess.
What's that going to cost?
Well, so the basing price for this was like $449.
$449.
Yes.
And how much did you get to destroy?
It didn't say. Like I said, I tried to reach out and call him because I want to talk to him about it, but I keep on getting a voicemail. So I did try to call him, though. But, hey, if you're interested, it's in Kasota, Minnesota. Kasota, Minnesota? Kasota, Kasota, Minnesota.
They're really looking for things to do, aren't they?
Well, here's the thing, man. So let me just tell you how this works. So Curtis and I, years ago, we had this concept. This was years and years and years ago. And we were like, you know what we ought to do? We ought to buy some excavators and some like backhoes and just a bunch of like just construction equipment.
Yeah.
And buy like 10 acres and just let people go out there and like dig holes and build bridges and all that kind of crazy stuff. That was an idea we had. Just jokey one day having beers.
I would be up for that if it was reasonably priced.
So I fly into Vegas, 2 years ago, and we went and saw we went and got the Hertz Mustang. Was that 2 years ago? And as I'm coming out of the airport, coming soon, dig. I'm like,
your idea sitting
right there, and we had the idea at least 7 years before that place came. Just sitting drinking beers, came up with a concept and idea. I said, I bet you could do like teamwork and seminars and stuff like that. Have like corporations come out and like make them build a bridge, like they break them up in teams and stuff like that, just for,
Yeah.
And they would pay big money for that. And we were convinced that people would pay big money just to dig big holes in the ground and build bridges and all that kind of stuff, and bring corporations out for team working seminars and stuff like that. Work, you know how they'd have those corporate retreats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that. I was like, we couldn't figure out what to name it at that point in time. We never came up with a name. We just came up with the idea. And here it was, like 5 years from that conversation, coming soon, dig.
Somebody else had it, but they put it into play.
Right. I'm always like right behind. I have the idea, and then I forget about the idea, or I just like, and then before I know it, someone's doing it.
Well, that's the story of my life.
And that's the reason why I have a radio show, folks. $1 million ideas right down the drain. No, I tell you, every time, like it was literally just a conversation over beers.
Yeah, I bet that conversation's been had by quite a few fellas.
Probably.
Because it's something
I don't think it was unique. I don't think it was a unique conversation. I bet you it was just like we did, a conversation over beers. Then nobody ever did anything with it, and then someone finally decided.
Even if there were a place like that here locally, it would get my attention, and I'd be willing to go check it out and want to give it a whirl.
Well, you ever seen escape rooms and stuff like that? Or now they have one called what is it? The thrash room.
They got
like
the
that?
destroy room.
The structure room.
Oh my gosh!
Where if you're having a bad day with your boss, you just go into a room and they set it up looking like an office, like your boss's office. You just get to destroy your boss's office for money.
I've never heard of that, but that wouldn't help me.
It wouldn't help you? No.
No.
Still want to destroy your actual boss's office if it was that.
Well, no, I don't really want to destroy anything like that. I just don't think it would, I'd have to have to me, the only thing that takes off steam is time.
See, for me, I'm not the destructive type. Like when I get mad, I've never been like, oh, let me break something. I've never had that urge.
I have never done. The worst I've ever done was I went out in the backyard one time and took a hammer and beat the dirt with it.
I've never been the let me break something type, because here's the thing: you break it, you got to replace it.
Yes.
So and money comes involved. So I've never been that person. Hey, but if you want to break something while we're on commercial break, you feel free. We'll be back here in a second. Talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cotman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating, and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow and Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949, residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow and Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated.
There's something special about Napa Auto Care Centers. They're backed by the national strength of Napa. Nationwide warranties honored by thousands of locations. You know that's Napa know-how. But more importantly, your Napa Auto Care Center is independently owned and operated by neighborhood professionals who operate by a written code of ethics. Put your vehicle in the hands of ASE certified technicians who will greet you with a smile you can trust. Visit us today.
You heard me say it, and now here's your chance. Now's the time to go find your auto garage. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to NapaBDGHRVA.com and find your all-star car care center today. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach, hanging out with Rock and Larry Cobb, and of course, Cameron's hanging out with us too, posting all the stuff up on the website for us, getting everything on Facebook Live, and just generally keeping us rolling, basically.
Just a potpourri of skill.
Potpourri. Hey, did you see Magnum PI's doing a reboot?
No, I did hear about that.
So I got the little media thing sent over to me, and it was like the little trailer and then a little write-up and stuff like that. So I was kind of interested until like the very first like little promo pack I opened up. They destroy like 2 Ferraris in the promo pack.
What a budget that show must have.
Right, but here's the thing. So, okay, if you guys weren't Magnum PI fans, that's fine. And some of us were. I was never a Magnum PI fan. I was a fan of the cars in the movie because being a car guy, I never paid attention to the script ever. Like, I would mute it, never listen to anything they were saying until like the car scene came on. And then I would mute it and watch the car scene, and I would mute it again. So I can probably tell you I won't watch the reboot, and the only reason why is, do you remember what the license plate was?
No, I've never seen the show.
Really?
I've never seen.
Oh, wow.
Never saw Miami Vice either.
So apparently they destroy Robin 1. It looks like it's going to be destroyed like in the very first episode.
Was that the plate?
That's the original Ferrari from the movie. So it looks like Robin 1. And any of you Magnum PI fans out there know what I'm talking about, it looks like it's going to be destroyed like in the very first episode.
Wow. What's the purpose of that?
I don't know, because I don't want to ruin it for you guys.
To reintroduce it?
Yeah, I don't know. So there's 2 different. There's like a really new Ferrari. It looks like it gets destroyed, and then Robin 1 gets destroyed. Looks like in the very first episode. So
these Ferraris would be a dime a dozen before you know it, huh?
Well, you saw one of the pictures I posted when I was in Vegas. I came across like 3 or 4 308s when I was there in Vegas, which is a really iconic. That's just a nice Ferrari, and everybody knows what a 308 Ferrari is, and they're just laying around in the desert.
And how prevalent are Ferraris in Vegas? You see them a lot?
When I was a kid, you saw a bunch of them. I saw a lot of them racing down Tropicana when I was there during last summer. A lot racing other cars, racing Corvettes and stuff like that coming down Tropicana.
Can you pull in and rent one?
Yes, they're for rent all over the strip. There's Ferraris all over the strip.
What kind of prices?
About $1,400 for the day. Which isn't too bad.
No.
Considering.
No.
It's $1,400 for the day. Here's what I suggest. So if you're ever going to go to Vegas and you want to rent a muscle car, they got all kinds of muscle cars. You want to rent a luxurious sports car or something like that, make a day out of it if you're going to do it. So everybody's like, oh, I would never spend $1,400 for the day. Well, if you're going to go do Vegas and you're going to do Vegas right, you'll spend about $1,400 in a day. So just take one day of not gambling and take that $1,400 you probably are going to drop at the table, or you're going to drop into some of the slot machines. And people say that I would never do that. Well, it's very easy to do. And trust me, if you go to Vegas, you do Vegas right, it's really easy to spend $1,400 a day. Take a break from the day of gambling and spend one day doing the sites and spend the $1,400. Go rent a car for $1,400. Take a really nice supercar for $1,400 and start early in the morning. Go pick the car up at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Take the drive up through Red Rock Canyon and do the whole loop through Red Rock Canyon. It's a must-do. Leave Red Rock Canyon and head right out to the dam. Take the drive all through the dam. Come down through the dam, go through all Lake Mead, and just make a complete day going and seeing all the sites.
That sounds like that'd be a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Have you done that?
Yes, I've done it. Yes, I have done it. One of my bucket list things is there's actually there's a vacation. It's about a month long, so you'd have to take a month off work. I don't think you know what to do without me for a month.
I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't work for a month.
So we'd have to figure out how to do the show without doing the show for a month. But you travel the world, and every couple of days you're in a different sports car, and you fly in and you dump into one sports car, and you drive through one country in a sports car, and then there's certain parts where you catch ferries and you go to a different country, and then you end up in a different sports car, and you drive through a different country, and you just keep on skipping from sports car to sports car to sports car, driving through different countries. And then you fly and you go to another country, but it's like 14 sports cars that you end up going through, driving through different countries. And it's a whole trip planned around you. All the hotels are pre-planned and everything like that, and you spend all this time jumping in different sports cars.
I'd like that.
Pretty cool trip.
Yeah.
It's actually, and I want to do it. Yeah, I want to do it, and I just never got around to doing it. But the trip's still out there. I checked on it like a couple of years ago, and who hosts it is still hosting that trip. And they got so it's Lamborghini, Ferrari, Bugatti, McLaren. So there's a bunch of. It's all the high end sports cars. Not that I'm a big, huge high-end sports car guy. I'm more of a muscle car guy, but just to have that experience, and it was like Germany and Iceland and Greenland. With all these different countries you go through, so it was kind of cool that are all on the list. So
yeah, I would like to do that. Sounds like fun. Yeah,
cool trip, and it's done. They do it in groups of, so it's done, usually set up for couples, and it's set up for 16 couples or something like that. It's 16 couples that go and stuff like that. So it's kind of neat. Man. Yeah, so cool trip, neat idea. Anyway, moving on. Magnum PI. I don't know how we went from Magnum PI into that.
Boy, that was one heck of a segue.
It was. Yeah. Hey, let's talk insurance for a moment.
Okay? What kind?
Car insurance. Let's talk car insurance. So how about if you had your prized possession out, you decide to take it out of the garage, you park it, you go in for lunch, and a teenage driver who has bare minimum insurance plows into your prized possession and totals it out. She has bare minimum coverage insurance, and the only thing you're going to get is $5,000 for your car.
I'd be extremely nauseated rapidly.
Right. And then everybody goes, oh, well, why didn't he have great coverage on the car? Well, he did. But it's like a 1932 Ford, and the value of that car is only valued at $5,000 max.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, they don't take into consideration the antique or historic value of it.
Unless you go get collector car insurance, and who would ever thought somebody was going to completely total out your car that you only take out maybe twice a year.
Yeah. Wow, man.
For parades and stuff.
I'd be sick.
Yeah, this happened to a gentleman. So the reason why I bring this up is if you have a antique or you have a pride possession show car,
keep it in the garage.
Now, you might want to go ahead and get with the insurance company and have them come take a look at the car and up the insurance on the car. Because a lot of times we just go and we insure the car and we do full coverage on the car and we do everything, but full coverage is what they decide the full coverage is on the car. So you say, well, I got a 68 Chevelle. You know what I mean? And they're like, okay. And they say, well, we're going to cover it for let's say $14,000. Well, you're like, okay, that's cool because I only drive the car a couple times a year during the good seasons or whatever. But the reality is, if you went to go replace that car after you put a paint job on it,
If you wreck it, anything would be totaled.
right,
A new brake light would be totaled.
Right. They're going to total it out. So let's just say that you dropped a souped-up motor in it and it has a nice paint job, and it's been to the interior guy, and you put a set of wheels and tires in the car. $14,000 is not going to cover it because they're going to total the car. And you can't replace the car for $14,000.
Yeah,
a lot of these, and a lot of you guys who have nice classics, this. But there is a lot of you guys that are driving classics that have never really thought this about it. What happens if somebody does so much damage to the car that they decide to total it? And then I have $30,000 or $40,000 tied up in the car, and they're trying to give me $15,000, $16,000 for a car that I have $40,000 tied up in.
I think that's some great advice to check on that right now.
Well, I bring it up because, like I said, we talked about it in the forum this week, and guys were like, well, I have full coverage on it. I'm like, have you checked to see what that full coverage is? And then they came back, and they're like, oh, my car's only covered for like $16,000. Like, what do you got in it? And they're like, well, I easily got $40,000 in my car. I'm like, right, well, you're not going to get $40,000 if somebody totals it. You're going to get that $14,000, $15,000, $16,000. That's all you're getting.
Yeah, you got to get the right kind of insurance.
Right. And they just never really played into that. I
Don't you think an agent would ask you, though, hey, I've got
No.
this 1932 coupe here. They wouldn't tell you.
No, a lot of them don't. They're just going through the motions. That's it. Well, think about Nathaniel. So Nathaniel has, and this is completely on the other aspect of things. So Nathaniel has his little Honda, okay, that he souped up. Value of the car was $3,300, I think was the value of the car.
What
okay?
year?
His was a 96, but he did the SI conversion on it, the 2000 SI conversion on it. Okay, but then he's got a $2,800 paint job, a $1,700 racing exhaust, a $1,700 lower suspension on it, $1,800 worth of wheels and tires. Okay, if the car gets totaled, the car is only worth $3,300.
Yeah.
They're not going to take into consideration all that extra stuff he's put on the car.
Hope you had a conversation with him.
We've been talking about it because remember the car got hit and run.
Yeah.
So we had the whole conversation about it because the insurance company only values that car at $3,300. Doesn't matter the fact that he's got all that money tied up. I mean, all that stuff I just mentioned, is what, 4 times the value of that car.
Well, given the age of his car, that's not an
It's
antique.
not dollar for dollar.
It's can you even get insurance that's going to cover
You can.
the extra?
You can, but it's not dollar for dollar is the problem. You can get additional coverage, but not dollar for dollar. So if he spends $1,800 on a set of wheels and tires, he doesn't get $1,800 if the car's hit
Oh, sure, I understand.
towards
that.
the wheels and tires.
Yeah, but are they going
He
to
gets
pull
like-
out the blue book and give
No.
him scrap value or
You're
something?
right. He gets like a $500 credit towards his $1,800 worth of wheels and tires.
Yeah, so
the
you-
$2,800 paint job, they give him like $800 credit towards the $2,800 paint job on the car.
So there's no way to really 100% protect yourself.
On a classic muscle car, there is, but you have to go get like special insurance, not just regular State Farm insurance. You have to go get special collector car insurance, and they come out and give it like a rating on that car.
I wonder if you get that if it's over 20 years old.
You do.
That's the antique limit, isn't it? 20 years old?
Yeah, well, they do it on all. If you can do it, you can even do it on a newer car. You have to have everything looked at and appraised for what it is. Like if you put a supercharger on the car and all this, that all has to be a value to it, and you're going to pay for it. It's almost self coverage. By the time you pay for the insurance per month,
Yeah.
you're basically paying for the value of what it is. You know what I mean? Really, It's really what it is. Hey, speaking of Vegas, there's a company out there, a bus. I haven't figured out how they're doing this. Bus trips from LA to Vegas for 99 cents.
Boy, that's a deal.
I don't know how they're pulling it off.
I don't either.
I think you got to be like connected with like the casinos or something like somebody's paying for it somewhere.
Yeah, or a loss leader of some sort.
And we're not talking about a junkie bus. It's like, so I got the little packet, a little media packets they send out and stuff. So I got one.
Nice air conditioned,
It's a
comfortable.
nice bus. Extra room seating for extended leg. They have plugins for your cell phones. They got little TVs so you can watch movies. I mean, like, they're nice buses for 99 cents.
This is L.A. to Los Angeles.
Las Vegas to Los Angeles, Los Angeles to Las Vegas, and now they're setting up like Arizona to like Phoenix to Vegas, and for 99 cents.
I could see it going to Vegas, but for going to Vegas to L.A.,
Going back, no, it's not just one. They'll take you back too, because the bus has to go back to make that trip to come back. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, somebody's got to be
There's something.
throwing some money, or there's a motivation.
There's motivation. Maybe like wrapping the buses with some type of advertisement on them or something. I was trying to get to the bottom of it. I could not get. Well, that's one of those where you make telephone calls again. You can't get to the bottom of it because I was going to try to tell you guys how this works because I couldn't
99 cents.
99 cents.
Even $99 would be a whopping deal.
So I got in the conversation like, well, how many people does a bus hold? And somebody's like, well, only like 44 people. I was like, no, I thought a bus holds almost 100. Maybe not.
No, I don't think a bus holds 100. That 40 number sounds probably reasonable, between 45 and 50.
So you're only making $50. I mean, you would have to use that much in gas alone. Diesel. It's a diesel.
I would think it would cost more in fuel than $50.
The gimmick's there somewhere.
How many miles is that? 250, 300?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to ask Siri. That's his job. What are you doing? You're sleeping the job. How many miles is it from Vegas to LA? See, look, I'm gonna put him to work for a second. He's gonna look it up. You know what? We got a commercial break anyway. So when I come back, I'll have the answer. See, look at he's answered the question. We'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA. Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating, and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow and Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949, residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow and Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Well, here's a pound of prevention from your Napa Auto Care Center. We'll customize a preventive maintenance package for your vehicle that will save you time, money, and hassles now and down the road. We'll ask, do you drive mainly in the city or on the highway? Plan to keep your vehicle? How long? And more. Preventive maintenance is a good thing that prevents bad things. Build yours at your Napa Auto Care Center today.
Hey guys, Dave Pilach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. Do you currently have a repair shop you trust? Haven't found the time to go to a garage for all your automotive needs? Check out the all-star team at Napa BDGHRVA.com. That's Napa BDGHRVA.com. Let them show you what it's like to work with the professionals and make a friend along the way. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Pilach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach, and we're just kind of hanging out talking about cars. So Cameron actually did his job. He earned his paycheck. He looked it up. So the way that they're actually doing the 99-cent buses, I guess, is they're partnered up with a lot of people is what he said. So they're going to, on those TV screens, they're going to run some commercials. They have wraps on the buses. So that's how they're going to pay for it all.
I'm still scrolling through their partner list.
Yeah, he said they have lots of partners. So, hey, here's a kind of a crazy one for you. Did you guys see the video of the cat riding on top of the van at 60 miles an hour?
No, I'd like to, though. I didn't see that.
So I guess these people just pull out of their driveway and they go for a ride, and there's a cat on top of their van they never noticed, and somebody pulls alongside them on the freeway, and they're like, there's a cat on your van? And like they're cruising like 60 miles an hour, and the cat's just chilling, meowing like, as they pass cars.
I wonder how he was hanging on.
That's what everybody, even experts, it must have been a slow news day. But people when they ask the experts, like, how was he? They're like, I have no idea how he was hanging on at 60.
Cats are fairly nimble and agile, but I mean that kind of speed and a cat's not that heavy. It would have blown him off.
I would have thought so. And go look it up. The video, it's online. So, it's one of those things.
Man.
Hey, you know what I got for you? I got a hey Dave.
Oh,
Hey, Dave.
Hey Dave.
I thought it was going to be another flashback.
Nope, I got a hey Dave. So this is something I've been talking about for a while. So this is the reason why I brought this up. And somebody sent me a message that says, hey Dave, you're crazy. But my response is, am I? Am I really? So here's what he's talking about. You said gas prices were going to go down and gas was going to become pretty much extinct. That's what he says. I think you're crazy. What do you got to say now? I see what the gas prices are. Okay, so I'm going to address this very quickly. I'm not crazy. I understand gas prices have gone up. Everybody's seen it. What, we're almost at 83 cents since we had this conversation. We've gone up almost 83 cents.
Good number, big bit.
Yeah. So I know everybody's like, okay, you're crazy. The gas prices aren't going down. Now, as I told you guys, I didn't say they're going to go down overnight. I didn't say that gas prices were going to just tumble instantly. If you remember, I told you that. Don't expect this to happen overnight. Here's my rebuttal and here's my defense to the hey Dave. Just this week, it was announced, and here's my rebuttal. I'm going to say this once, and we're going to move on, just so you guys know that I'm not crazy, and as more information comes along, you'll understand why I'm not crazy. So here we go. 50% growth over this time last year, electric cars. 50% growth.
And that's going to continue, I'm sure.
Okay? So, I'm not crazy. 50% growth electric cars over this time last year. All right?
Okay.
That's my number one. I'm only going to give you two. I'm going to give you two. Just so you have something to chew on and get mad at me until next week. Okay? That's my number one for my number one rebuttal. Here's my second rebuttal. Just this week, biggest investor this week into electric cars. Who do you think was the biggest investor this week?
I have no idea.
Any
Someone
guesses,
that owns a gas company.
Bam. Cameron nailed it. The largest investor this week, Big Oil, guys. Just this week was the biggest number one investor this week. Big oil companies invested a huge chunk into electric cars this week. Big oil. We're not talking, I told you guys, the sheiks are not messing around. They understand what's happening. The sheiks are backing out of oil. The sheiks, the ones that have been taking our monies for forever, are backing out of big oil. They're looking for other options. Yeah, they're still selling you gas. Yeah, they're still making money. I'm not denying that. But when the sheiks go, we need to find something else to invest our money into. You better wake up. You better pay attention. I've been telling you guys this for years. And now I have a, hey, Dave, you're crazy. I'm not crazy.
And where are they going to invest it?
They're investing into electric cars. They just went and invested
I'm trying to figure out.
huge amounts into electric
So
cars.
they're just actually investing in that in the electric car industry. So
Correct.
I'm just wondering how they intend to get a payout.
Well, they're investing into electric cars. They're investing into electric car batteries because they realize this is happening. When you have 50% growth over this time last year, there's no denying it, guys. I mean, when you have big oil, when I mean big oil, that means your big oil companies. I'm going to give you a name, and then we're just going to stop. BP this week bought into electric cars with big money.
Well, that's just like, so we can use Bitcoin as an example. It went all the way up, kept going up, and then it went down and stayed stable. So the gas prices are going up.
Yeah,
They're going to have a chance to go down, and they're going to stay
I
stable.
can't. I'm never going to compare anything to Bitcoin because as far as Bitcoin is just
That's a total gamble.
It's a total gamble. This isn't a gamble. This is a for sure thing.
Well, it's a matter of supply and demand. That's what's going to, that's supposedly why we're paying more now. But their demand, as the electric cars increase, the demand for gas is going to decrease.
It's going to, and then you're going to have to supply and demand. We all learned this in high school, guys. It was really simple. That's right. Economics. Every high school teaches it. Supply and demand.
Then you'll be paying through the wallet for your local stop at your place and do the fast charge.
Is insane. So no, I'm not crazy. I'm sticking with what I said. When you have big oil companies buying into electric cars, you'd better put your ears up and pay attention. Moving on. That's all I got to say. Hey, flashback. Flashback. Remember when I talked about packages in cars, and there was a couple companies looking into it, and everybody wanted to be the first, where you could have packages delivered to your car, and
yeah, so that was last week, wasn't it?
A couple weeks ago.
Right.
So Amazon,
yeah, I remember the conversation.
Amazon is now jumping on board, and they want to do it too. So now they were. And so if you have a Chevy newer than 2015, now you can get on board with Amazon too.
Hey Alexa, deliver that to my car.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So, flashback. It's time for another flashback. You ready?
Flash me, baby.
Flash you. No, that's not happening. That's not happening. No. Hyundai is the next to jump on with, I want you to pay as you go. You want a coffee? Not a problem. Hyundai, I want a coffee. Brings it up on your screen, tells you where the closest coffee shop is, and automatically bills you through your car.
See, and it's funny that you just said that because I'm sitting here thinking about that. How hackers are going to just hack those cars.
Well, I'm just telling you. So, yeah, Hyundai's the next one to jump on board with that, too. We talked about that almost a year ago, and it keeps on progressing, and here we are. So, Hyundai is now on board with flashbacks.
It'd be better if they had a way that the coffee could appear in your glove box and you don't have to even go there. Materialize it or dematerialize it. Poof.
Oh, so here's another interesting one. Did you hear about the gun lodged in the guy's front bumper on the freeway?
No.
Washington State, he's running down the road, and here's a clunk, a big bang into his car. He rides about another 18 miles till it's time for him to get off the freeway. He gets out of his car, looks at his front bumper to see what hit him, and there is a pistol lodged in his front bumper.
And it didn't discharge on impact?
No clip in it. So I don't know if the clip fell out or whatever, but no clip in it. And so he called the state troopers, and they came out and took the gun out of his. And they think it was involved in a previous crime, robbery, and someone dumped it on the freeway and it just happened to bounce up into his bumper.
Dusted for fingerprints.
Dusted for something.
And road sand.
I got one for you guys. Y'all need to pay attention. Listen up. There is a recall. Looks like Chrysler Fiat has recalls on a bunch of cars. Almost 5 million.
I saw that yesterday. Like,
yep.
Whoa.
So if you guys haven't heard, go ahead and get a pen and write it down. Or if you know this is your car, go ahead as soon as the holiday clears on Tuesday, call your local Dodge Chrysler dealer and just see if your car is on the list. This is one of those things you really need to be paying attention to. Chrysler 200s, Chrysler 300s, Pacifica, Chargers, Challengers, Journeys, Durangos, Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers, Ram 1500s, 2500s, 3500s, 4500s, and 5500s all have a huge recall going on with them.
What for? What's the problem?
There's a couple of different issues that are labeled. I was reading through it all and stuff like that. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to try to get into all the particulars of it.
Safety issues?
It's a safety issue. So you guys need to call your dealership immediately. Do not mess around with recalls. Just give me your VIN number. See if your car is up.
No excuse because it doesn't cost you anything.
Do you want to hear something interesting? One of our friends, I'm not going to call him out. He can call in when he feels like it. I told him I was going to talk about him. Has decided to change manufacturers on us.
From
Chevy to Dodge.
No kidding.
Apparently they're a Dodge house now. I had to give him a hard time. He is a Dodge house now.
Wow.
He's got Dodge cars, and he's gotten rid of all his Chevy stuff.
Yeah,
he is now all Dodge.
I think I know who you're talking
about. Even his truck. And so I just let him know just as soon as he needs one of my Chevys to tow him home that we can do that. So that is the end of our show, guys. It is a Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday. It is gorgeous where we are. Enjoy your Sunday, too. Turn off the TV. Spend some time with your kids. They'll enjoy it. Take them to a car show. You know I always say it. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. We love that you guys tune in, and we'll talk to you soon. We're out of here.